All right, welcome everyone to the TSRB Championship for the first round of the Formula 3 Championship hosted by TSRB. This race we're going to be visiting Chang International Circuit. I'm here in the commentary box with Teodoro.
Hello everybody, I'm Teodoro, as Luca just said.
Yes, so we will be covering the race, the qualifying and the race today.
Absolutely. So, Luca, what are your expectations for this race, especially circuit-wise? Who do you think is gonna have the better end on other people, considering the circuit layout and ability of the drivers?
We've definitely seen some strong lap times by Eldab this week. Also last week he seems to be really well adjusted to the car. We've also seen good laps from Bobby and Nicholas. Nicholas obviously being a rookie this year. This is his first year in the league. He's looking very promising. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's also looking very promising with his driving.
For sure.
I mean, from last race, definitely we could see how well he was performing.
So we see that we now have a 5 second countdown and then we will start the first qualifying of the season.
Yeah. And it is qualifying time now.
We see the first cars leaving the pits. Carlton Lotus obviously being the class winner last season for the GT4 class. We had the sports car challenge, LMP3 and GT4. He doesn't seem to be able to keep this pace in the F3 though.
Yeah. He had a good run last season, but he's gonna face some problems this time, definitely.
For sure.
Completely different car to learn, to drive, to understand the weaknesses and the strengths.
Yeah, I
It's
agree
a
with
really
you.
big jump.
Especially, I've tested the car a little as well. It can be a bit nervous, especially when you're like trying to push the limits. It's obviously an open wheeler, so you have a lot to work with, but you also have a lot to lose.
Yeah, that is true, that is true.
So we can see some interesting tire choices. We see about 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers on the mediums, but most of the people seem to be on mediums. But there's a
Yeah.
couple of softs. What is your take on that?
I mean, it is pretty strange considering qualifying where you should just be able to set one fast lap. Why I don't really get why most of these people are going on mediums when soft is clearly the better choice considering the current track condition.
So with some earlier interviews and talks with the drivers, the tire temperature is definitely at play. The softs tend to get very hot, so I think that might be the big reason why they choose to do that.
I mean, that could be, or maybe they just forgot, which could be an option still, could be an option.
Yes.
Here's some slip angle from Bobby.
He's definitely pushing everything out of that car. He's on to
Yeah.
2 purple sectors so far.
Ooh,
Oh,
unfortunate spin on the apex.
that was just a little bit too much. Has to return to pits to probably get some new tires.
Yeah. And crossing the line on pit exit.
Oh, the stewards won't be happy with that.
Absolutely, that is true.
So we
He's
see
gotta
that
be
the
careful if he does that during the race.
first quick lap time came from Thomas Piccolo. Obviously, this is one of the season's most active drivers. He's obviously also our race director. What do you think he can expect from this race?
I mean, we're definitely gonna
Oof.
see as yeah. I was about to say something good about him, and then he goes and does this to me. Uh, Apart from spins and crashes, which we just saw, I guess we can definitely see him in the top 10, maybe in the top 5, but that would be rare, in my opinion. It would be a lot more common to see him in like P7 or P8, which is an incredibly good result in this league.
Obviously, having
Obviously,
more than 40 drivers on the grid today.
yeah, absolutely. Another important force on the track is his teammate Lorenzo, which, considering from my past experience, he could definitely be a good candidate for the top 5. He's shown great discipline and optimal teamwork with his teammate.
He was showing a lot of pace last weekend. Mugello, definitely one of the front
Yeah,
runners. We can see that Spooks5565 in the chat said that some people are just more used to using the mediums over softs and aren't used to the different breaking points of soft tires, which is a very good statement. You can obviously brake a bit later on the softs because they have a little bit more grip, so some people might be quicker on the mediums because they're used to those braking zones.
yeah,
I mean, I can find this in myself as well. Obviously, I'm a little bit of a renowned GT3 driver, which has just one compound, but I can feel that I might be able to push a little bit more out of the car when I'm driving on a race setup that I'm used to, rather than a very nervous qualifying setup.
yeah, true. Here we see Alex Norris with an all blacked out car, I think. I don't see any designs of on it.
It's very
Maybe a
sleek.
bit of yeah,
Looks to be midnight
bit of a
purple. Ooh, a little
purple
bit of a
tone.
hold up there.
Yeah. Though there seems to be something written on the tail. What could that be?
Alex Norris 51, I think. Yeah, there we go. AN 51.
Oh yeah,
Very professionally
probably his
drawn onto
initial.
the car there.
Yeah, that could definitely be.
Obviously, he is running in the privateer clause. We will be having two different clauses. There will be teams competing against each other, and we will also be having a separate privateer standing. So although they will be racing together, they will not be directly battling each other for points. Although they are
Yeah.
in the same car.
Yeah, definitely, because it is a spec series apart from the setups, which are the only thing that changes between teams.
Yeah, and setup, they don't have a lot of choices in the setup. Obviously, a part of the setup is fixed by the stewards, ensuring great drivability for beginners who don't really know how to start out with setups, but also ensuring that the car is fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I suggest we go on board with Oliver for a lap around Chang. Oh, never mind, he spins it. Never mind.
Ooh, unfortunate. Really unfortunate for him.
I guess we will be going with Eldot then. Just coming around the final corner here. So we have turn 1, which is a very high-speed right-hander. You have the curb on the inside, but you don't want to take too much because that is a big bump in the middle. Now they open their
Ooh,
DRS towards turn 2. A nice lay apex by Eldad. He doesn't improve in his first sector though, so its lap time is not going to be very great. Now, coming onto a fast left-hander. I think he's going to have some traffic in this lap, Theodore.
Yeah, I think so too,
Oof.
unless they move out of the way, but they aren't going to. This obviously distracts him and he misses the apex on the corner, causing him to definitively lose this lap. I mean, it was doomed from the start,
Oh
of
yeah, and it has
course.
a snap of oversteer there as well.
Ooh, some really violent snap oversteer there. Oh, and here we have Cratch, which went from Adam to Carol.
And we have both
In the
Adam and
last.
Carol. I think they are related.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
That's
mean,
cool.
teammate Adam Krech now in P19.
Let's hope that it doesn't receive the same reputation as his relative, which is not a really good reputation. At least in the last seasons, uh, Adam was really a force to be reckoned on the track.
Yes. So interestingly, we still
Both
have
had
Tom
big
Zil.
wins.
We still have Tom Zil, one of the quicker drivers, still in the pits as we're speaking. I think he's making some setup adjustments still. Let's hope he
Pretty
will get a...
strange considering he could have done them before.
Yes, so some time issues on his hand.
Hmm.
Yes, so, Bledko, the way that Assetto Corsa works in the spectator braking telemetry, it's kind of the same how F1 does it. So basically, whenever the drivers even slightly touch the brakes, it will show up as a full brake, indicating that they are using the brakes, as you can see right here. Obviously, the faster
Yeah.
drivers will be having some very good braking techniques, also trail braking a lot. But for the
Yeah.
sake of competitiveness and letting other drivers hide their braking techniques, this is not shown. So we now have just 3 minutes left in this qualifying. Alex Norris, a privateer, is now in a provisional pole with Eldot right behind him, just a tenth off. Oh, I'll take that back. Eldot just improved his lap time to a 1:23.6. That is a great lap time by him.
Yeah. Very, very good. Considering we started with 124s, with mid 124s, that range.
Yes, they are definitely putting some rubber on the track, and the track is heating up slightly, so they will be finding some more time.
Yeah, true. The track was green at the start of the session, and now it's definitely starting to show the effects from the drivers really pushing the cars on it.
Mm-hmm. So we see this Red Bull livery here by Victor Mojito for the Red Bull Juniors,
Yeah,
a team that made a return after leaving after the Radical season. So good to see them back
yeah,
in the competition.
absolutely. I love it too. I remember having some good battles with them.
Yeah, I even did some races for the Red Bull Juniors, so this definitely hits close to home.
Yeah, I remember. I remember. Back in the Formula Mazda season.
So Victor Mojito's teammate at Red Bull Juniors is Mateusz Vasek. So the drivers being in P8 and P13 is definitely pretty good. They're occupying about the fastest 33% of the grid right now.
Mhm.
So the clock is about to strike 0. Are there still people improving? Lorenzo might be improving. He's had his green sector 1 as the Finnish flag is out.
Also, Luca, if you will just give me a moment, I need to be absent for just a second. I will be right back.
Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh, big spin there from the car behind. Luckily Lorenzo doesn't lose time because of this. He does not get an improvement, I think. No. 7/10 lower than his best. I think we won't see any position changes then. Maybe Thomas Piccolo. He has a green sector 2. I don't know if he had a good sector 1 or if it was mediocre. He's now coming through the final corner. Let's see. Oh, and he does improve. He improves by a couple of tenths. That jumps him up right up to P6 with a lap time of 1:24.2. But maybe Jacob is looking to take back that P6 that Thomas just took. And he does. He beats Thomas just by a couple of hundreds, but it's enough to qualify in front of him. I think we have most people in the pits. As of right now, they're waiting for the qualification to for the qualification to end and the race to start. Still have a couple of drivers out. Tanner is on a good lap, jumps up onto P20.
And I am back. Sorry for the absence.
Welcome back, Theodoro. You missed a good jump from Thomas from P9 to P7.
Oh, very nice, very nice. I'm going to congratulate with him after the race, definitely.
So that is now qualifying over. Let's just take a look at the top 10 from here. In P1 we have Eldad Silkanovic. In P2 we have the highest qualified privateer, Alex Norris. In P3 there's Lorenzo Cantone. P4 it's Nicolas Kukic, a promising driver, but that's a good qualification by him. P5 is Bobby Vaquinov. P6 is Jacob Ordonez. P7 is Thomas Piccolo. P8 is Matija Glavuric. That is a surprising qualification from him. No offense to him, but he's
Yeah.
usually not that high up the grid, so I'm very, very pleased to see him all the way up there. In P9 there is Yanis Okmanis, and in P10 Victor Mojito for the Red Bull Juniors. So Teodoro, can I get your expectations for the top 3 in the race?
I mean, I think that I don't think it's gonna change too much, definitely. We're gonna see Eldad and Alex and Norris and Lorenzo. They could all be here, definitely. Or unless something really unexpected happens, we could also see someone like Yanis winning the race, which I would definitely love to see.
Yeah, but we can see the top 10 is only 9/10 apart. This isn't a lot. I think that Nicolas Kukic will have a good shot at a podium finish.
Mhm.
So let's just take a look at the grid here at the Chang International Circuit. Drivers lined up all the way back there. We have Eldad, the front man here. And if you see all the cars lined up like this, you can only watch with excitement.
Yeah.
So, with just under 30 seconds left until we're gonna go lights out here.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get like an angle from like the end of the pit straight. That would be really good.
I think this is the best angle we're gonna have. Yeah, we're gonna have to do this.
Yeah,
You can see all the cars.
it's really good, obviously.
Obviously, Chang is definitely a pretty technical circuit in the terms of that you have to manage your tires. 13 laps doesn't sound like a lot, but it can definitely wear out those tires. As now the track has been declared green by the stewards, the 6 red lights are coming on. When we see a jump start. Jump start for Robert Chauncey. It's lights out. Alex has a great start. Moves up into P1. Behind that, it's Lorenzo Cantone with a very good start as well. Oh, and there's a driver off in the background there.
Ooh, spins into turn one. Headed on the outside of Lorenzo.
We have Adam Craig sideways on the track. Can see further down the grid we had some people move up some places. We saw I think that was a lot of people
Everybody's
going deep.
outbraking themselves.
And see that there's some penalties for the DRS usage. Obviously that is for now illegal. I think it was one of the BRZ cars who just went off. Oh, and there's been a big crash here. Who
Big
was
wreck.
that? It was
Definitely a big
Mateusz
wreck.
Wasik and Thomas Piccolo.
Unfortunate for Thomas. He had an amazing qualifying and then it all went to waste like this.
He also has a drive-through, Thomas, for jumping the start.
Ooh, unfortunate for him. The
One
best
of
thing to do right now is to serve it this lap so that he still the field is bunched up, so he could still gain some positions from it.
one of
I
the
mean,
cars
not
that had
lose
a
us, maybe.
we've had a crash in the final corner. John Tanner is off the track. Watch the rejoin. Yeah, I think it was one of these cars that I saw
Ooh,
going
rejoining
backwards.
on the racing line. What a reaction time by Jacob here.
Oh,
Definitely,
contact there.
that shows skill. Being pushed off the track, Jacob, by
In other
Tanner.
news, Tom Zeo starting from last because he didn't qualify up into P18.
Already Tom Zhu with a really good uh, performance.
His teammate Brendan Roble though just had a little bit of an incident, I could tell. I think it was with Adam Crash. When there's been a big contact here. Oh, that's not a safe rejoin.
Ooh,
Definitely
what is
some
Krech doing?
starting. Oh, and there's a car upside down.
Ooh, poor Oliver. Poor Oliver.
Oliver just
He
did a
did not
barrel roll.
deserve that tap. Yeah,
Let's move to the front of the grid as DRS is now officially activated, which means Eldad is going to be looking to make a move on Alex. He's going to have that top speed not only once but twice on this track. Let's see if he can make a move here. Alex going defensive. That will be enough for now. Lorenzo Cantona just lost a couple of positions, moving Bobby Vakinov up into the podium position of P3. Might have had a spin or something along those lines.
yeah.
I mean, if I were to move myself into Eldar right now, I would be looking to stay behind Alex and just use his DRS to pull away from Bobby. We know that Bobby is a very fast driver, so if Eldar can utilize the DRS that Alex is giving him, he should be able to drive away from him. Some more chaos here, some more racing in the back. Kuba and Tom Seo in a fight. Oh, and there's a car backwards. I think that was Martias Copo Hernandez. Well, let's see. There's now gonna be DRS for a lot of these cars. All of those cars except for Tom Zeo.
Yeah. Definitely a DRS train is gonna form.
We can see that Kevin Nordschleife might go for a move. No, he backs out early. Ooh.
Yeah, no, definitely outbraked himself, but Yuri made a mistake, causing Kevin to gain a position.
Yes, we can see that Yuri went a little bit wide there.
Yeah.
You can also see that Alex has just been overtaken by Eldad. I think it might have been a mistake by Alex because there's already been a little bit of a gap now. It's 6 tenths. Now see Carlton Lotus and Lorenzo side by side here. Not quite though. Lotus decides to stay behind Lorenzo. This is obviously smart because he's gonna have DRS here. And that's definitely gonna be enough for him to pull alongside. Does he even have to make a move? No, he doesn't. He's in front of Lorenzo before the corner even comes up, but now Lorenzo has DRS on Lotus. But there's not quite a braking zone. The next corner is nearly flat on these cars. So Lorenzo is gonna have to deal with being in P8 for now. Ooh, although no, he's gone down the inside. Lotus looking for the switchback, doesn't find it. Great battle between the two racers here. Ooh, dive bomb there from Mateus. That nearly went wrong, but it does get him alongside of Victor head off. Doesn't make the move, even goes off track there. Gets overtaken by Juan Fernandez. As we see that Eldot went through the pits. Why did Eldot go through the pits? Maybe he had some sort of penalty that he had to deal with.
Not really much happening right now. There isn't a lot of pack racing going on. All of the field is spread out pretty evenly across the track.
Well, we can see here a bow for P3 between Nicolas Kukic, one of the drivers that I mentioned that is definitely looking worthy for a podium, right behind
Yeah.
P3 Victor Mojito. And we know, we've already seen with Lotus that DRS is strong. Let's see if Nicolas can profit from that as well. Ooh, was that contact?
No, I don't think so. I think just snapped a bit, but nothing else. But there he is in P3. Victor really attached to him on his inside now. I try and outbrake him. And he does, actually. He does, overtaking him in the corner. But I don't think Nicolas is gonna give up P3 that easily. He's definitely gonna try and fight for it.
Nicolas was definitely sounding very ambitious towards the start of this championship. He's not gonna give it away that easily, and you can tell he's already on the back of that Red Bull car.
Yeah, I definitely see him getting in some top teams in the next 2 seasons, unless he leaves the league. Ooh, he locks up. Unfortunate. That could have been a really good move on Mojito on the outside if he made it stick.
That was definitely a big moment for him. Doesn't seem to slow him down a lot for now, but you don't want to put too much flat spots on your tires or they will become much harder to brake in. Interestingly as
Yeah,
well, Nicolas is on the hards. Victor Mojito in front is on the mediums.
yeah. Again, he locks up. This is really unfortunate for him. He's doing really well, but he's letting stress take over. He just needs to calm down and get into his rhythm. Otherwise, if he starts pushing too much, he's gonna damage the car.
And you don't want to abuse the tires here. With just
Hmm.
5 laps left to go. Behind we have a little bit of a fuss here because we have Lorenzo Cantone and Yanis Ogmanis. Yanis obviously had a great start, was into P4 if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Interestingly, Lorenzo Cantone is in the Scuderia Agile car, although Yanis Ogmanis is obviously an Academy car. So let's see if there's gonna be any type of team orders here. Oh, spun car there.
Yep. I'm pretty sure there is going to be some team orders telling Yanis to leave the position to Lorenzo if it means a better result in the championship. And there it goes. I think Yanis definitely left him the space to overtake him right there.
He did not defend that much. And I think he's
Yeah.
gonna stay behind here, yeah. Definitely done and dusted.
Who- who-
In other news, we have P34 Skyler Fueston behind Nicolas Kukic, nearly accidentally, I think, making a move on him. That is not allowed, obviously.
Mhm. But I don't think he's gonna be able to keep up that much.
I don't think so either. He's already had a gap. We see a little bit of a train going on here, all with DRS. Ooh,
Oh, head off on the inside.
Matthias was looking
But
at
he
the
missed
inside
that
for a
one.
bit. Thomas
Thomas
Piccolo
overtaking
moves too.
head of. Yeah, he's definitely trying to make the most out of this race.
He obviously had that false start in the beginning, giving him a
Yeah,
drive-through. Definitely looks much more pacey than the car in front of him.
yeah, he could try a move. Yeah, at the end of this straight.
Yes. Ooh, contact, contact,
Ooh,
contact, contact.
that
Matthias
was
gets away
definitely.
with that.
Oh, Matthias
Oh,
going for the revenge and spinning himself.
I think he misjudged the length of the car there. Just gets it wrong. I think Thomas is unaffected by that.
Yeah,
And
I
not
definitely think he was trying to go for a revenge move for the contact that he had earlier,
well, that
but it
looked
didn't
like
go
a
as
racing
planned, definitely.
incident. Thomas definitely left the space.
Yeah,
So let's see if we can find some battles a bit further down the list. Matthias into the pits. He's gonna retire after that contact. We see that. Oh, that's P3 and P4 coming through. They are looking to switch positions. Yes, Nicolas around the outside. Victor Mojito gets the cutback. Edula goes wide. Carroll leaving them through nicely. Oh, Edula even spinning there. Victor Mojito now looking to take back that position. Nicolas Kukic lets him.
yeah. Victor is not gonna let Nicolas get off the hook so easily. He definitely wants to show who's the boss on track, and he knows what he's doing. He knows not to let Nicolas pass.
I think Nicholas might be playing the long run here. Obviously, they were just
Yeah,
lapping some cars. It's a very dangerous situation. He's on those hard tires. Those mediums might start to slow down a bit compared to the hard, so he might be playing longevity here.
yeah, and definitely also doing a move in the later laps when you're tired. You're definitely having some more problems driving the car. Uh, it's
Ooh, dive bomb.
Yeah, dive bomb from Lotus. There we go. Some side by side action by Tom and Lotus. They're both side by side on the straight. Let's see who's gonna have the advantage in the first corner. Definitely Lotus overtaking even before the corner.
But now Tom Sale is gonna come through with DRS. Oh, but Lotus gets DRS from the car in front.
Yeah,
Well thought of by Lotus. Tom Zil might have been in that car to think, oh, I can just let him by anyway, I will have DRS. Not thinking about the back markers that were gonna be in the way.
Yeah, absolutely. That is an important aspect of racing, especially with this much chaos.
Shinji Green Fox here, the Redwood TRF example is into P18. And surprisingly, Matija Glafordic qualified, I think that was P7, now fell off to P24. Oh, Lotus made a mistake. I think Lotus might have spun in the final corner. He just lost 3 positions.
Yeah.
Side-by-side action here again between Victor Mojito and Nicolas Kukic. These guys have been all over each other throughout the whole race, but now it is the final lap, the final chance. There's no more DRS zones coming up. It's looking like Victor will claim the P3, the final spot on the podium. Kukic going slightly wide.
If he has a better exit, we might see good battle on the straight.
Alex
And
wins the
here
race.
Alex crosses the line, winning the first race of the season. Really good by him.
Victor
And
Mojito.
Victor in the last corner, followed by Kukic. Kukic is definitely not gonna be able to do this. But congrats on him, he showed a really good fight in the first race. We we might see some even better action in race 2, definitely.
For sure. Tomzo just getting rid of one more back marker before crossing the finish line. That was some good racing.
Yeah. Some really good racing, some clean racing also.
Definitely good and bad displays of skill this race. So we saw some cars on the mediums and we saw some cars on the hards. Most notably, we saw that Victor was able to stay in front of Kukic, even though Kukic, even though Kukic was on hard tires, those mediums seemed to hold up quite well. Do you think
Hmm.
Kukic might consider mediums this race, Steeler?
I mean, yeah, I definitely could if I was him. I would have definitely seen that my opponent was doing that, was using those, and I would definitely have tried to copy the strategy.
On the other hand, we can see that Bobby Vaquinov, who finished very solidly in P2, was also on the hards for this race, so might be personal preference even maybe.
Hmm.
Also, Alex, a little bit of a Max Verstappen in this race. We haven't really looked at him this race, but he was driving in front the whole time.
Yeah.
We still have one more car on track. And that's everyone. In just one last look at the finishes.
And now we are gonna have race 2, obviously, an important part of the weekend. So everybody, please stay tuned and be ready for the next race, which is gonna show some elements from the first one and maybe some new elements, like new conflicts and new battles from different drivers.
Yes, for sure. Maybe we'll be seeing a different start position. The positions that the drivers finished in will be the positions they start in as well.
Yeah.
So we can see that they're that Tom Zeo now starting from P8 instead of last maybe has a chance at a podium, although Eldad instead of P1 is now gonna start from P7.
Yeah, unfortunate for him, he definitely had some skill issues during the first race, and that definitely set him back a lot.
Let's see if he can come back stronger.
Absolutely.
Again, the cars all lined up. Do you
Yeah.
think Alex is gonna win it the second time, or do you think Bobby might be looking to get a P1 this time around?
I mean, if Bobby has a good start and he's able to maintain the lead by defending in a really good manner, he definitely could have a chance at the win. He just needs to work on his defending a lot.
Yeah, if I'm just gonna vaguely look at some lap times, I can see that Alex Norris was the one who had a quicker lap time by just 1/10. So there's definitely a lot possible there.
Hmm.
Just a little bit of a update on what happened to Eldad. Obviously, we saw that he was in the pits for no reason. We can see that he had underfueled the car, so he had to go into the pits to refuel his car. A bit of a rookie mistake, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we are now down for the second race, the lights come on. We're looking at Bobby Vakinov, and the lights are out. Who has the better start? Alex definitely lost the grid pretty well. Victor Mojito has a great start, overtakes Bobby immediately, but Bobby's still on the
Ooh.
inside. Again, a car goes wide on the right hand side of your screen. Kukic up into P3. Kukic up into P2 even. If he can keep this position, Bobby gets it back from him though.
Unfortunate. I would really love to see Kukic winning a race this season. He has the potential to do so.
Issues
Oliver in the
for
second
Oliver.
race.
Issues for more
Unfortunate.
cars. Brandon just spinning out of turn 2, the hairpin. Yes,
And we also have a safety car following them in case of any incident.
yes. We can see that there hasn't been many accidents this time, though we see Yanis Ogman is off the track right now. He was starting in P7, I think. That was an incident for him, I think.
Hmm.
Alex Norris leading the race, Bobby Vakinov in P2. Tom Zeo found his way up into P3 starting from P8. What a drive by him.
Absolutely. He definitely took all of the chances that he saw.
That must have been a very good start for him.
Yeah. And he's also on And he's also battling with Eldad now.
He has to concede the position for now. Eldad moving through.
Definitely an important step to victory to overtake Eldad. It is really important.
Now 2 wide, turn 2 through turn 3. They do it nicely. Kuba stays in front, but Jacob and oh, that's Thomas off the track.
Ooh, really unsafe rejoin from Thomas. Really not wise to rejoin on the racing line there.
Seemed to be a little bit of a quick rejoin, but not good enough. Ooh, close.
Yeah,
Matija Glavurdic now on the tail of Thomas Piccolo.
yeah. Thomas's rejoin could have ended badly.
DRS is now enabled. Adam Craft having Christopher Asochdabel up his tail. Christopher might want
Yeah,
to stay behind for the DRS. He doesn't though. I don't know where the detection point is. Who's gonna get DRS here? It's Adam who gets the DRS. So the detection point is probably somewhere after the corner. Adam will be looking to make a move on the hairpin. Locks up slightly, but keeps the move stick.
good drive from him. Really good drive.
Christopher now looking to make a move around the outside. That's really not gonna work, but he gets the speed. Slightly wide though, that's gonna be an off track.
Yeah,
Ooh, and he messes up his braking. Alex again comfortably leading this race. You can now see that Victor Mojito will have some DRS action going on for him. Into the next hairpin. Will it be enough to make a move? I think it will. He is alongside. He is definitely alongside, and now he is in front. Blocks off the switchback. Now he has to be looking at his mirrors because there is a angry Spanishman with DRS who wants to re-overtake him.
yeah.
And he does go through the inside here. Victor Mojito definitely fell back a lot starting from P4.
Yeah, that is true, that is true.
I think we have a car beached somewhere. That was Skylar Houston who was just beached at the exit of the turn 2. He's going now though, although he is driving nearly at the back of the grid.
Yeah. Unfortunate for him, I know he has potential, so it is sad to see him at the back of the grid.
For sure. No, but yeah, going for an early move in turn 1. That might not be the best move strategy-wise, because now Colin Elise is gonna have a DRS on him. Matthias still goes defensive, but I think Colin Elise has the speed to do the move before the corner even is there.
Yeah. Ooh!
Ooh, contact.
Yeah. Matthias with a Hail Mary trying to save the position. He did save the position, but Colin really decided to not have mercy on him, and he decided to, even though he had to make contact, he still overtook him. But great
Karma was
defending
served.
by Mattia. really desperate. We can see it. We can see it. Unfortunately.
Bobby Vakinov should now have a
Yeah,
DRS on Eldad.
yeah. Could definitely try and make a move, especially here in the second straight.
Let's go on board. See if he can maybe... Well, he had the DRS, but he didn't really close in on Eldad at all.
That's really strange. Could he try and get the slipstream in here in the next straight?
I think Eldad is
Oh,
landing
he
some
does.
very
Yeah,
low
he does.
wings. He stays into P3 for now, though. Chooses to stay behind.
Yeah, really strange by him to not try and overtake as much as possible.
Bobby definitely very wise thinking.
Yeah, but here in the faster sectors of the track, we can see faster sectors where you can't use DRS. We can see how much Eldad is fast on the straights. But uh, so if Bobby really wants to make an improvement, he would have to get Eldad in the corners. Maybe
Maybe now go
on
for a
an
little bit of a
exit.
dive. He goes
Yeah,
for a
he
wider
could.
line though.
Yeah, maybe he's gonna try a move on the exit, which was really prominent in the last lap. We can see that. Look at how much he gains here. Yeah, he's gonna definitely try a move next lap. I can see him hesitate right now, but he can do it next lap. He just needs to warm up to the conditions and feel his opponent before doing a move like that.
Bobby definitely has the pace to overtake Eldad, but Eldad isn't gonna give it to him for free. Ooh, that's wide.
Yeah, unfortunate for him.
Bobby slightly folding under the pressure.
Yeah, he seems to have lost a lot of ground. Well, that, but he's gonna probably make it up in the next straight with DRS and the next one too.
I think Eldad might gain some DRS from Alex. It's definitely gonna be close. Let's keep an eye on that.
Oh yeah, he's in the DRS range with Alex.
Ooh, it's gonna be close. He didn't get DRS. That was very, very close, but he hasn't got DRS. Bobby again closing in very much into the hairpin. Ooh, that was a
Yeah,
lockup though.
we are gonna see some action here in this next straight. Let's go on board with.
Now Eldad
Mm,
does have DRS from Alex Norris.
Ooh, Bobby's gonna struggle a lot right now. But if Eldad is able to get to Alex and they start fighting Eldad, hey, Bobby could definitely uh have an advantage on it, on them, on the both of them.
You can tell that these drivers are definitely running some different arrow setups. You can see that Eldad definitely running lower arrow because
Yeah,
Bobby doesn't gain a lot on the straights. But Eldad is just gone when he has the DRS.
yeah, Bobby gets out of the slipstream range really quickly.
But now he's gonna be 3/10 behind. Surely the slipstream is gonna be enough. He does the fastest lap of the race as well.
And there is a lapped car in front of them.
Ooh, that's not gonna help your exit though.
Ooh, unfortunate. That was really bad for him.
Is Eldad maybe looking to overtake Alex here and just... Ooh,
And he
definitely
does get his
looking...
nose on the inside, so that when Alex looks into his rearview mirror, he can see Eldad telling him, hey, I'm here, I'm gonna get you sometime.
Lovely little battle here for P1.
Absolutely. And
Eldad
the
looking
left
up
car
that
moves out of
inside,
the way.
but there was a lap car there.
Yeah. Look at them, they're basically cruising.
There's a lot more lap cars coming up to see in front. Blue flags is what Alex will be screaming on his board radio right now.
Yeah. Bobby following close. The pair waiting for the both of them to mess up so that he can get what's left
Ooh, Eldad
from
might
it.
have slightly gotten a worse exit because Will Evans was parked on the exit there.
Yeah. Bobby on the inside getting a worse line. This is definitely gonna give him a disadvantage.
Bobby out of the question now, but Eldad will have DRS on Alex Norris. He breaks... They break about the same, but Eldad has the inside line. And Eldad is up into
Ooh.
P1.
Alex is not gonna let that slide. He's on the inside. He's gonna try a dive bomb into the next corner. Look at him. Look at how his DRS is opened. And
And
he does
now...
stay in front. But that does not care. Zelkanovic does not care. Still on the inside of Alex. Trying to maintain position with all he can. But look at Bobby. He's definitely getting closer to them because of this little battle they had. Bobby could definitely try something on the both of them.
Eldad was fighting the hardest he could to keep that position, and he lost so much time that he now has to watch in his rearview mirror for Bobby coming through.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Bobby and Eldad are gonna have to open their DRS. We don't know about Alex. Yeah, no lapped cars there.
Maybe on the straight. We'll have to see. These cars are
Eldad
within
taking all
5/10 of each other.
Yeah. Look at them.
Does Alex open his DRS? He does not. So Eldad will be looking for a move now. Bobby will be
On
looking
the
behind.
inside. And he has the speed to get in front before the corner. He just needs to make it stick. Now, there's a lapped car. And Alex needs to swerve around it.
Oh,
And
and
that
Bobby has been
goes
hit.
off and it's Bobby. Bobby holds it. How did he hold it? How did Bobby hold it? That was incredible. Alex back in P1. Eldad does not let that slide. On the inside again. Alex closes the door. Eldad on the inside. They're really close to each other. They continue battling. Norris in front. What a battle. What a battle.
This is great racing here. Carol Craig nearly ending it all for Bobby there, losing it over the grass. Again, Eldad had the better line, but Alex just keeps it around the outside, keeps it planted.
Yeah, absolutely. That is true. That is true.
Even more lapped cars, look at that. Alex is gonna be having no slipstream this lap, which means it's round 2 for Eldad. It's round 2 for Bobby as well. Both of their DRS opens up. Alex looks to go defensive for a little bit, but now goes back on the outside. Eldad doesn't look at the inside. Was that wide from Alex? Yes, it was. Eldad's now gonna have DRS for the second time, but Bobby is on his
Yeah.
still.
If Bobby can get that nose up on the inside, they were about to go 3 wide. Bobby on the outside, trying to keep up with the two leaders. Eldad in front of Alex. Alex trying desperately to stay on Eldad. Look at them.
Alex Norris now has finally been passed, but he is still so close to Eldad, and I think Bobby behind is just trying to save his tires so he can strike in the final lap maybe, but this battle is
Yeah,
far from over.
he definitely has a lot of opportunities right now.
Did Alex... Oh, and Bobby! Down the inside!
Ooh,
Oh, contact!
could Bobby try a move up on the inside? No, he does not. He backs out of
Alex
it.
misses the apex though. That's off track. An off track from Bobby, but his DRS does open. And he gets the move done on Alex. Alex has been caught sleeping. And they dodge!
Ooh! No, Bobby!
I think that
Bobby
was
and
Alex
Alex.
missing his braking point. Let me get a quick replay on that. Yeah, Alex is going slightly too deep. Touches Bobby. Makes them both spin. The big winner, Nicolas Kukic. Now up into
Now in
P2.
P2.
He's done pretty much nothing other than being consistent to find him in this position. A small mistake from Alex spins both Bobby and himself round, and he now finds himself up in P2.
Incredible from the both of them. Eldad now in P1. Can Bobby and Alex get back in the podium? Lorenzo Cantone near. Look at Lorenzo. He could try and get a position from Alex, but I don't think he's going to. Last lap and last
Eldad
corners.
wins it. We can see that the incident between Bobby and Alex will be investigated after the end of the race.
Yeah. Really good race from the top three, from Eldad, Bobby and Alex. They were really, really good.
And what a twist
Bobby
at the end
instantly
as well.
disconnected. That was incredible, especially in the last laps. Drivers doing donuts. I mean, nothing to say. They should. What a race, I have to say.
Great
What
race.
a race. That was incredible. One of the first races that I commented in this league, and I have to say I've never seen anything like this. Either when I commentated or either when I commentated or either when I raced. I never came across battles like this. Three-way battle for P1, that was incredible.
That was amazing stuff. And if you're watching the stream, don't leave just yet. We will be having some post-race interviews. So we can see some drivers doing some celebratory donuts. Alright, so just hang in there. That was some great racing on display there by
Look
the
at
top
the two
three.
cars.
Kissing, pretty much. Alright, so for a first interview, we will be having the race director Thomas. Just waiting for him to hop into the call. So now we will be joined by Thomas is ready,
Hello.
the league
Hello, Thomas. We saw you
owner
race.
and one of the racers.
Yep, that's me.
So, Thomas, a bit of a rough drive today for you. You had incidents in both races, I think. Tell us about it.
Yeah, sadly, I didn't have much time over the weekend to practice as much as I wanted to, but I still a decent pace. I could have gotten a better position in qualifying still. But the first race, I had a very big issue at the beginning. For some reason, I was holding the clutch fully and engaging first gear. The car started rolling forwards, so I got a drive-through penalty for a jump start, which was weird because it never happened to me before. The car rolling forwards with the clutch on.
Ah, that
So
is very unfortunate.
that ruined the entirety of race one for me. I could have probably fought for the top five, but instead finished P16. And then in race two, I wanted to opt for the mediums. However, grip wise, they were a little better than the hards, but they were very inconsistent with their performance. Like one lap, for instance, I could take the corner the same way I always did, and the next one, the car will either lock up or lose all aerodynamic downforce, which led me to spinning out.
All right.
Yes.
So I'm just looking at the standings here, and we see that Scuderia Agile is leading the standings by about 30
Uh,
points. What's your take on that?
my take on that is that I did not expect that at all. I was expecting Agile to be a few points behind, but it makes sense since, from what I gather, most of our competitors were not running at full capacity. Actually, almost none of our competitors were running at full capacity, except maybe for the Proton Racing Team and the Aniwa Motorsport Club, which are respectively P5 and P6. As far as I know, might be wrong. So I don't think the standings currently reflect the actual performance of the teams that was displayed today. If I really need to be honest, mostly because I underperformed terribly. My teammate Lorenzo did an amazing job, wonderful job. He qualified P3, if I recall correctly, and drove amazing races. I just did not, I was not up to the task today.
Yeah, that's definitely, of course, you guys are running at full capacity. We saw that most of the drivers in that were high up the field were either just lacking a teammate today or one of their teammates performed very poorly. So, looking towards the rest of the season, do you think a Scuderia Agile championship win is within the possibilities, or will we see another dominant Kyoso?
I mean, the hope for World Drivers Championship, sorry, World Constructors Championship has always been there since the very first season. And from the previous 2 weeks of testing, we did see that the Kyoto team was not as comfortable with the Formula 3 car as they were with literally every other car we raced in previous seasons. So I do have better hopes for a championship than the last few seasons. But of course, it all comes down to consistency. We may not be able to beat the other teams on raw output, at least based on this one race. But we can definitely uh, do our fair share of points through consistency. Of course, I will always try to improve and go for a win, but I'll need a lot more seat time with the car.
All right. Well, thank you very much. That's from a driver's perspective. Now, just gonna ask you to look from a race director perspective. How did the race go in terms of drivers following the rules and track safety?
From a race director's perspective, purely organization-wise, felt like it was almost spot on. There was just one small minor issue with race 2 not having the actual reverse grid configuration, even though I personally triple check it was on before the event, but I guess that's the server software just deciding to do whatever it wants. I will try to get it fixed for next race, but considering it was purely a choice for shaking up the grid, and the grid was actually pretty different from what I've seen. The undersuits were different between race 1 and 2. I still think the second race accomplished what it was meant to do, and it gave the other drivers a chance to score a better position than the first race.
All right.
And from safety perspective, there were some obviously questionable moves from other drivers, of course, especially the newcomers, but it was mostly down to missed braking points or weird overtaking maneuvers that were because of the lack of track knowledge. There was no, at least in my experience this race, no actual bad or malicious driving etiquette shown by anybody today. Even when people made mistakes, sorry, there was almost no issue afterwards. Very good behavior from everyone.
All right. So one final question. Obviously, the last race we didn't quite have the DRS down. Now it was working properly. How is your take on the DRS? How does it help in the battles? Does it help you, or is it like a strategical nightmare?
I was actually quite surprised with how well the DRS worked this race. Now, some other people may disagree with me. That's just the nature of the DRS system. It's always been a bit controversial, even though it's mostly beloved. But yeah, it really helped like untangle some of the more uncomfortable racing moments, like when you're stuck behind a guy, even though you're faster, you're just gonna spend like 5 laps behind him. Not being able to overtake him in DRS just makes everything a lot quicker. So if the guy is actually faster than you, he'll overtake you back and proceed with his own race. But if you're actually faster than him, you just need to get within 1 second, which shouldn't be too hard if you are faster than him, and do the overtake. Also, some other drivers I heard were playing some interesting strategies, which I will not mention here. They are fully legal, of course. But yeah, it's an extra layer of strategy and fun to be added to the races, and it worked quite well. Didn't see, at least from my point of view, any incident that was caused by DRS itself.
All
I was
right.
actually surprised by how well people managed to uh, adapt their braking lines to the faster DRS top speed.
All right. So that was Thomas. Thank you for the interview, both as a driver and a race director.
Thank you guys. See you next week.
No
See you.
problem. See
Bye
you.
bye.
So next up we have Tomze, who the driver who started last and climbed his way up into even a P5 finish, I think, at the end. Let's get him in here.
Yeah. Hello, Tomze. Hello.
Good evening once again.
Good evening. Good evening. So, let's start easily. What was your expectation for race one, for example? We know you didn't qualify actually. Let's start from qualifying. Why didn't you set a qualifying lap? What went wrong?
Nothing went wrong, honestly. I found it to be a calculated risk to just start behind all the chaos and weave through it, which in the end it worked out again.
Oh, that's a very tactical decision by you. Uh, I mean, I personally wouldn't have taken a risk that big, but it definitely paid off looking at where you ended up. Uh, so you said you wanted to weave through the chaos in race one. Did you manage to do this? Were you happy with where you ended up?
I couldn't be happier with the top 10. Honestly, I had estimated that I could have probably gone around between 15th and 10th. So, yeah, it all went without hitting anyone. Just had to avoid a few things, but very pleased about the 8th.
Mm. About race two, where you finished ninth. What that was also a good race for you. Are you satisfied with that one?
Definitely. I mean, I had a very good start. I just didn't have the pace to keep up with the guys at the front. So I think in terms of what I could achieve, that was definitely one of the higher positions possible.
Good for you. Good for you. Is there anything else you would like to say, like problems you found during the race with any system? Could it be real penalty or maybe just a little something about what you did during the races?
I feel like the cuts are a bit so, honestly. Sometimes it feels like you gain no time and you lose time and you still get a cut warning, and sometimes you gain time.
Okay.
It's nothing. It's a bit here and there. And I think sometimes maybe a safety car or a full course yellow should have been called, because it was definitely quite chaotic at times.
Yeah, we've had these kinds of issues for a lot of time now, but nothing to worry about. Anything else you would like to talk about? Maybe a situation on track where you felt like a lot of adrenaline, maybe a battle with someone you had. Do you remember any of those during the races?
Not particularly battles. I think the most high in adrenaline moments were definitely some of the less safe rejoins that happened. That
Yeah,
was
we saw a lot of those.
it was a bit so sometimes, but luckily people did, slam on the brakes on time before they would, actually make contact with anyone.
Mhm.
All right, that's it for Tom Say then. Thank you very much for the interview. Great racing,
Thank
great
you.
recovery
Yes.
drive.
Oh,
All right, thank you very much. So next up we have Kevin Nordschleife. I'll drag him in. Hello, Kevin.
Hello.
Hello. So I can see for the second race you finished in P14. I think that's a pretty good result for you. How do you feel about that?
I'm not expecting to be finishing in P14 in the second race. I didn't even know I was in P14.
I think it says here on the live stream, it could be wrong. Yeah, how did the race go for you then? Like generally, did you get some good overtakes or did you have some incidents?
First race, that was pretty good. Uh, on the last corner, it wasn't like that great. I had a 20-second penalty from there, from going, I think, a little bit off track.
All right, so that sounds pretty good. Obviously, I think you started a bit more towards the back, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, P25. Was there a lot
Yeah.
of mid-pack drama, chaos?
Oh yeah, definitely. At the start of the race, there was a big ass crash. I happened to weave through that, so I got lucky there.
Okay, so you did a little bit of a Max Verstappen at Monza in the sim as well, where there were cars flying around.
Yeah.
Okay, did you have any like collisions or big position losses, or did you have a very consistent race?
I believe my race was pretty consistent on the first one, but on the second race it went downhill from that. I wasn't expecting Thomas to break like late or so,
Mm-hmm.
but he happened to end up breaking early,
All right, all
so
right.
that threw me off.
Okay, so with round one finished, which of the other tracks are you looking out to drive for? Which ones are very much interesting you?
Suzuka for sure.
Suzuka, yeah, obviously a bit of a snooze fest today, but I think it's
Yeah.
gonna make some good racing in this league. All right. Well, I'll thank you very much for your time and for your racing,
Yeah, thank you.
and have a great evening.
You too.
All right.
Thank you.
So that was it for our broadcast of the TSRB League today. Round 1 is over. Next week we'll be heading to Malaysia for the Sepang Grand Prix. It will be at the same time as today, of course, on Sunday, so hopefully we can see you there. Bye bye, everyone.